Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my friend's show. We have the usual suspects tonight. Greenhead, Crazy Uncle. Everybody say hi.
Yo.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming.
I'm going to start by addressing the elephant in the room. Let's talk about Ukraine. No, I'm kidding. Fuck Ukraine. I just really want to talk about my new shirt here. This is really much more important than the tragedy of Ukraine right now. This right here is a hot, scannable T-shirt. So if you see me out in the world and you come up and scan me, you're going to be entered into a drawing for your own scannable T-shirt. We might have to edit that out. I might go to jail for that. I'm not sure. So we'll have to be careful with that one.
Very interactive. I like
Yeah,
that.
I think it's good. I like that. People are going to want that shirt, Don. That's a good-looking shirt, and that's the prototype. So
This is the prototype.
I'm kind of pissed I don't have one.
What the
yet.
actual one will look like.
Well, I think this really ties in with a lot of things that we've been talking about right here. Like last week we talked about spicing up the bedroom. Scannable T-shirt. Spice up the bedroom. Talked about getting a little bit more confidence, getting out there in the world. Scannable T-shirt. Get a little more confidence in your life. Get out there, start interacting with people. Is that your dog, Chris?
I like it.
That is my dog. Yeah, she's outside, so that's how good the microphone is that I had.
Tight.
Made by Samsung.
Wow, yeah.
Future sponsor.
It's picking it up, everything. That's good. Hey, did you hear about, speaking of the Olympics in Ukraine, well, you mentioned that.
The Olympics aren't in Ukraine.
That skier, well, no, you mentioned that Ukraine and the whole freaking thing. It's kind of the tensions are running high between Russia and Ukraine. Anyhow, what I'm going to say is I think it's a cross-country skier or something, but he had a frozen penis.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's a real thing. This really happened. Yeah, no, legit.
The frozen
I didn't
pipe.
click on the link, so I didn't. A frozen pipe. He wasn't prepared. You know what I'm thinking? They should have offered these guys. They're out there in the frigid air. Like somebody should have been knitting like penis sleeves or something. They need to be wearing long johns. Like this guy wasn't prepared. What was he doing?
Yeah, that's really interesting. I'm
thoughts
surprised that he was out there in the wilds with an unprotected donger like that. Like what? Does this happen often in the sport?
No.
does.
This is highly unusual. They are in frigid weather. They knew it was too cold to be out there. They have skin-tight suits on, and if you don't have a skin-tight suit on, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
So you have to wear this, and they had to shorten the race. They had to shorten it, and then on top of that, they had to delay it by, I think, an hour because it was so cold out. And I'm pretty sure this is not... You know what? You asked, is this the first time? It's the first time in the Olympics that I think it's happened. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's the second time it's happened to this guy.
Wow, so this guy
Whoa.
didn't learn the first time his penis froze that he should bundle that thing up. He went out a second
He doesn't have a
time
good blood flow.
and froze his dick. Wow.
Man,
Well, fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice.
Can we
Shame
use
on me.
Johnson? Can we say Johnson?
We could say Johnson & Johnson.
oh, is that better?
Yes.
Little product
Yes.
placement.
Well, my mom said she wouldn't share this on her Facebook because we said
Pussy.
Oh, something.
no, it might have been fuck. And I think we said it twice, maybe 3 times, and she's like, I just didn't think it was appropriate content to be sharing on Facebook. And I was like, you could say anything on Facebook pretty much. And
That's
worst case,
hilarious,
you just get canceled.
Look at all the wild
Yeah,
shit.
there's a lot worse
yeah, look at
out
all
there.
the wild shit on Facebook right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Like WAP. Like we were talking about that last week.
Yeah, I told her last week's was better. I said you're like this. It's less swearing, much more appropriate. You want to listen to this one and share it first, though.
We were trying to be clean.
Not anymore.
No, we weren't.
We're going. We're
Not
going
anymore.
full blitz on Facebook now.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Mom.
Well, yeah, I can't.
Not for the
I
faint
can't
of heart,
believe that
so-
guy's penis froze. That really must be a bummer. And he's the only one. Like everybody else
Yeah.
made it through unscathed without a penis injury. And this poor bastard.
Yeah, they put this guy on blast. Be like, his whole family is like, oh, I mean, like, he's in the news, he's the headline, like, that's how he's known right now. I don't know if he won anything, but he froze his penis.
He didn't win anything.
So that's what he's known for right now.
He lost the day. That's for sure.
Damn.
That poor bugger.
All right. Oh, man.
Sucks, yeah.
I have so many questions. We'll get him on the podcast. I want to talk to that fella.
I'll work on adding.
Yeah, can we get on that?
I'll see if I'll call in.
Yeah, see if he'll call it. Give him the link. He'll know.
Yeah.
He'll know it's us.
Okay. All set. We're good.
Oh, well, I mean, it's going to be hard to springboard off of that frozen pipe topic, but we're gonna do a bunch of a triple dive tonight, 3 solid questions. All of them really resonate well with me. I have some personal stories for each one. So yeah, I think at this point we should just dive into question 1. I'm going to share again, so you viewers at home can follow along if you're more of a visual learner instead of my dulcet tones. Oh, hang on. Can anyone see my screen?
Can you hear me? Is my mic working?
Am I here?
You're trying to share something. I don't really see it.
Well, it's not going to cooperate, so I'm going to stop sharing. We're not going to be sharing tonight. That was just a joke. Goddamn Wi-Fi. It's that 5G that's frying everyone's brains in the QAnon groups. I read about that. We'll talk about that later. All right. Question 1. New job advice. It's my second day of training at Dairy Queen. I'm pretty quiet and 21-year-old female. Everyone's moved around really quickly, and I find myself getting in the way a lot on accident. I've never worked in food before. I feel like everyone looks at me like I'm a dummy. I'm not going to use that word. It's a hard R. Fill it in for yourself. It takes me a while to get the bags out to the drive-thru and customers because I'm not sure what goes with what and what's for who. I've been practicing on register doing drive-thru and walk-in. One girl I've been training under helps me and lets me know it's okay since it's literally my second day. But other people just listen to it and do it for me. And it's embarrassing because the customers are like either making fun or pitying me, and the rest of the team is just like, hurry up. And I just can't get into the flow like they can, like they're used to constant running around, making cones or whatever, and I'm not sure if food service is for me. After all, I feel so stupid, whatever, and sorry. Any advice for me? This hits so close to home. I cut my teeth in adult life working in the restaurant industry, and there is literally no other feeling like getting thrown into the fires of food service, working in the kitchen, getting fucking screamed at by the people who work there, getting belittled by the owners, getting absolutely shit on day in and day out, till it actually starts to feel normal. It takes weeks to get over this type of thing, but that is the trial by fire that everyone deserves in this life. The restaurant industry will make you into a true employee, or it'll beat the shit out of you and spit you out. It's not for everybody, but there's no experience like that better for shaping you into a worker than that grind of working in a restaurant. Greenhead, tell them about when we worked at the general store.
Oh my God,
Lucifer.
No offense.
I hope he's watching. You know who you are. Watch, yeah.
You know who you are. Yeah, I mean that definitely. He put me through the ringer. Every day, day in, day out. Belittling, kind of like what this girl's going through. I mean, she's doing it to herself, realistically, but you're kind of being hard on yourself day 2. My thought is just everyone's got to start somewhere. I mean, even Michael Jordan, well, he's kind of a different breed, but he was a rookie at one point too. So just take it day by day, and
Do you think Michael Jordan was working at Dairy
it.
Queen? Is that where we're going with that? Oh, okay.
No, so that's why I said maybe not the best example, but yeah. I mean, Lou, dropping names now.
Names.
Dropping names. Yeah, I have some stories. I mean, Don was there. I forget. I think I was cutting a pepper or something, and I was working it a little hard, and he just didn't like you critique you no matter what you did, whether how he was showed you. You had to do it to a T, like perfectly. So he didn't accept anything except for perfection, and I was just a slob.
Oh yeah.
Like 17. 18, 19 years old, whatever. You try your hardest, but man, he just puts you down no matter what.
I remember watching Lou dealing with you on like either Thursdays or Sundays when we got to work together for just like an hour because we usually worked opposite shifts. But Lou would just like lace you, dude. You'd be there like working your hardest, like chopping the basil or whatever the fuck it was.
Breed.
And he would just walk by and be like, "Sean, what are you, a fucking idiot?" And then just keep going. Like no constructive angle, no trying to fix what you're doing. Just absolutely lace you, dude, and keep moving. But the best part about working in a restaurant is how you can do it just out of your mind. Like once you get past day 2 and get to day 3, like there was almost no day at a restaurant where I either wasn't hungover, stoned, doing something to take the edge off, because like that's the industry in a nutshell. Is you're so beat down that you're just trying to cut the fog with something. I remember doing those ribs on Sunday mornings at the general store, and I was so hungover from Saturday nights that I would be doing the ribs, and it just would like dawn on me that these are like, pig ribs, and I would just vomit into the sink because it was so awful to see it. I was so hungover, and you would just keep going. There was no stopping. No one would be like, "Oh, you should take a minute to rest." It's always like, "No, actually work harder. You'll be fine." Chris, did you ever work in a restaurant?
I quickly just want to let you know, I probably would side with Lou, your boss, working with Greenhead, or Sean. Sometimes you got to be direct. Sometimes you got to be quick. You're not trying to be their best friend.
So you've never worked in a restaurant? Get the point
across.
You've never worked in a restaurant?
No, I have.
Where'd you work?
Well, I worked at Riverview Pizza. I'll start there.
Fair enough. Point taken. You get points for that. But for what, like a weekend?
No, for at least a year. At least a year.
That kind of counts.
I washed dishes. I rolled out pizza dough. I cut the pizzas. That was wild. Obviously made the pizzas, or put the cheese on, I should say, and the different toppings, and then or sauced it, because you're either saucing or you're cheesing, or adding the toppings too. But yeah, very difficult, very intense situation.
Riverview's like a cult
on the weekends.
Riverview's like a cult, man. Like there's such a mystery to Riverview Pizza where it has so much like almost like magic built into it from Ipswich, and how we're so dedicated to that pizza. I still don't know what goes into the sauce there, and I bet you do. Tell anyone.
Nobody quite does.
Yeah, but it's like,
well, they say it's applesauce. That's what everyone that doesn't know anything says.
We're gonna edit that out.
There's only a few people that know, and they mostly are they're in the basement, and they're making it. And it is very secretive. And we did lose Sean. We're going to keep on rolling through that, though. He'll jump back in, I'm sure.
Yeah, my guess is he'll come back, or at least I hope he does. Or his
he just left. He's like, he doesn't like Riverview.
Yeah, he hates Riverview Pizza, and his wife probably found out he was using the microphone that he bought. surreptitiously for the podcast.
Do you think she knows how much it cost?
Oh, she knows. She saw recent purchase history. I was on the phone when she found out. She was less than impressed.
Yeah. Well, I would like to go on.
I have so much. Oh, keep going with your experience. Yes, please do.
Yeah, so I worked at Riverview. I also worked at the Ipswich Country Club, and that one was pretty wild too. Not as much of a cult, but there definitely was. It was different. I wouldn't call it a cult, a commune of people that didn't live together. But when they were there, it was like they were kind of like they were your other family. It was really a strange situation. So Ipswich Country Club, and I think you worked there also, Don. Is that correct?
I was just gonna say the country club is real special, man. Were you you were like the like shed boy or whatever it is, right? Like you were in the fast service part of the restaurant over by the pool.
I ran, or I didn't run anything,
Yes.
but I was I worked in the functions.
Oh, okay.
So mostly weddings, which I really liked. I've been to more weddings than most people have been to, so I know all the moves. I know what you're supposed to do, which really helps.
Yeah, you are very impressive at weddings, I will say. You like schmooze, work the room. You're experienced at a wedding that I don't have.
Yes, I've been invited to weddings that I probably shouldn't have, just because I'm pretty good at weddings. People want me there, I think. I mean. Or I don't know why I got invited. I'm pretty good at this. I know how to do the sizzling bacon on the floor, and usually with 2 martinis I'll do it. But let's get back. Ipswich Country Club, Riverview. I would say my advice to this teenager is that
she's 21.
It's Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Okay, 21. We are doing not knowing the questions ahead of time for the most part, so sorry about that. 21 is that you're working at Dairy Queen. This isn't one of those places that Don's talking about where you need to really cut your teeth and that it's scary and you're going to get yelled at a lot. This is a restaurant that I think you'll be able to work at. It's new to you, but you'll get really good at it. There's going to be all these different little tips and tricks that you learn, and you look at these other people and you're like, wow, they're really great, but they've probably been there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They've made a friend. They now have the secret tips and tricks. You're going to want to stick this out. You're going to want to at least get good at it. I mean, if you had a better job opportunity, go for that. But I mean, if they're paying you money and you're showing up, and it's not so unbearable, I would keep going with it, because it doesn't sound like a bad situation to me. It sounds like a good situation, one that you'll learn some lessons. And I definitely have. I sucked at Riverview. I was terrible. The pizzas used to fall out the oven, and that sucked. But yeah, I definitely learned something there. I got I guess as Don said, what was your thing that you said? You got to cut your teeth.
Oh yeah, like this job is perfect. In my opinion, this person doesn't have a ton of work experience. They've never been really like kicked around by a shitty job, and I feel like this is perfect for them. Like, get in there, just keep doing it. Like, restaurants are ideal for this type of formative, shit work that nobody gives a fuck about. Like, don't take it seriously. Go in there, make friends with these people. I still talk to the people I worked with at restaurants. They're some of my best friends. They're all wild animals. Like, these are people you want to hang out with and have like a great time. Oh, hang on. Looks like Sean's really struggling. He's like bouncing in and out right now. But I would just, to get back to that string here, like, restaurants are the ideal place to make friends and, like, fuck around, because it's not serious. This isn't Wall Street. It's, Dairy Queen. Enjoy it. Gain some durability and some toughness, and you're going to be fine. It's a great job for that.
Yep. Just to own that you suck. Just know that other people have been in that situation. People have been in much worse situations and had to deal with a new job. And it's not going to be just Dairy Queen. You're going to go to your next job, whether it's Maybe it's sales. And the first day you sit in the seat that you're sitting in, you're gonna be like, you're gonna look to your left, and you're gonna go, "Wow, this person's really good. How could I ever be as good as they are?" And then next thing you know, you're going to be that person that others are looking at. So definitely stick it out with Dairy Queen, because you will be in this same exact situation again, just with a different job.
Sales is like the next tier above Dairy Queen. I want you to know that. Like, sales is 1/10 above Dairy Queen as far as getting shit on, dealing with bullshit. Nobody gives a fuck about you. Like, that's sales in a nutshell. The only difference is they don't give you free ice cream. Like, that's the only thing that I find is different about sales than my time in a restaurant, is that it's just a different breed of savage slinging, ice creams versus whatever it was. For me, it was, my next step was into selling diamonds, but it was all like, it's just the same people, just they're in like a shitty suit instead of an apron.
And I think that's how it's going to be in any situation you go into. That's what we're familiar with. But you go into another job situation, you're going to be the new person. You're very rarely going to go into a situation and be able to be the best person at that job. Other people that have been there maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they're probably going to know more than you. You definitely can catch up, and you definitely can pass them. But yeah, I think we're both on the same page here, Don. We both want her to stick it out, and we think that it's just a new situation, and she'll be able to do fine with it in just a few weeks.
Start having fun with it. Yeah, like start, you know what, like who gives a fuck what the customer thinks? Like, fuck the customer. It's Dairy Queen. Nobody gives a shit about them. They're coming to buy cheap ice cream. Just get it to them when you can, and sooner or later you're going to be fast, and it's going to feel like second nature.
Yeah, I would definitely, when you're getting shit from the customer, just give the straightest face you can, very blank stare, look at them, say, okay, yeah, I'll see if I can fix that. Just have something like that you have in your back pocket. And I wouldn't show any emotion. You don't want them to feel bad for you. I think you mentioned that. So just give them that blank stare, like the stare of, oh, I know what you're talking about. I understand you. But in your head, you're thinking, wow, you're going too far with this. This is just Dairy Queen. I'll see what I can do, because it's Dairy Queen.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter exactly. Yeah, like you're gonna be fine. Keep swinging away at that. Stay in that swinging. Trench.
And let us know. Let us know how you do. If you can follow back up, if you do see this, we're obviously going to post it in the threads. So if you do see this and you don't mind just letting us know how it goes, and say a week, 2 weeks,
just
3
scan
weeks,
me.
Scan his shirt. That's
it's totally normal. Yeah,
he's gonna get tattooed on his forehead.
I'm gonna get this QR code tattooed on. Yes, I think that's a great idea.
That's so awesome.
That's actually a great idea. Like tattooed QR codes. I wonder how long that would last.
They did something like that in I think it was in San Francisco, where if you came in and you got a logo tattooed to you, you got burritos for life. Did you see that article at all?
I did. I remember seeing that, and it's I was also just thinking of some of the horrible historic precedents that's been set for tattooing identifiers on people, and I just got like this flash of how dangerous the idea of tattooing a QR code is on yourself with the current system that we have.
I would love to eventually change that QR code to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's
gonna go somewhere else.
All right, well, I still think you should do it, but we'll talk about that later.
Let's go to question 2. Sean is having technical difficulties, which is unfortunately, Sean had to leave. Something about his cat puked, and his wife came and got mad at him for buying a microphone. Something along those lines. Please fill in the blanks. But, your fearless guides, your brave Sherpas, your mighty heroes of the internet, Chris and Dawn, will carry on. Fuck that guy, Sean. Till next week. But for now, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
On to question 3. We're skipping question 2 because it was targeted at Greenhead's life experience. So we're going to skip that. We're just going to do 2 questions. we already, we already talked quite a bit on question 1, so I think we'll have plenty of content here. Question 3, starting college late. I'm 21 and have worked random jobs since high school. I still live with my parents and have a good relationship with them. I was in college for a few months after high school, but dropped out because I just wasn't motivated and didn't really care. Working dead-end jobs for the past 3 years has me really scared for my future. Seeing people in their 30s and 40s making the same amount of money as me is really frightening. For some reason, I feel like it's too late for me to go back to school. All of my friends from high school are graduating in a few months, and I'd just be getting started. Also, if I go back to school, that means I'll have to live with my parents for another 4 years. And even though we have a good relationship and I know they wouldn't mind me staying, it just seems like forever. I just don't know what to do with my life and don't want to get stuck working low-paying jobs forever. Any input at all means a lot. Thanks. Smiley face. Oh, man, this is my life right here. This might have been me. Did I write this question? I didn't, but I've literally lived this person's existence. Just like I, mentioned in the first question, I was a bum for years. I was working in restaurants. I was, working shitty sales jobs where I was, defrauding people for their credit card information because that was the job. Not because I was a bad guy, but because that was the job. That's how fucking sales was back then where I was. So, like, this guy, I know exactly what he's going through and, absolutely go back to school. I went back to school at 25. I didn't live with my parents, and I couldn't, but I was out living on my own. I paid for school. I paid for my own apartment. Like, you can do it, man. Work those shitty jobs and put yourself through school, because it is a fucking dog-eat-dog world if you don't. That's for damn sure. You went to school late, too, didn't you, Lo? You were like me. Kind of.
This question, I think, is kind of perfect for both of us. We both have a path to college that was not it was unorthodox, especially for the time.
Yeah.
We definitely were. I mean, at least me. Maybe I'm speaking for you there, Dom. But most of my friends, they went to college right away, and I didn't. So, same for you, Don. I mean, you're 25. There's a pretty big gap there. There was no community college in there, anywhere in between or anything?
No, man. All my friends were done with school, except for one of them. All my friends were done with school before I even got started. Yeah. Like, I had kids while I was in college. That's how old I was. It was insane.
I moved to Newport, Rhode Island, and I went to a community college. Just enough classes, I guess, that I could, or that I would be able to get great or really good grades. I had to pay for them out of pocket, so I only could afford that amount of classes also. And it is incredible when you actually pay for your classes, the grades that you'll get. So definitely did the community college route to get my grades good enough that I would be able to go to college. I would not have been able to go to college right out of high school. It was just not possible, at least the normal, or I should say traditional 4-year academic. So I was able to go to community college in Newport, Rhode Island, did a few years of that, and I randomly applied to Salem State, where Don also went to college, and we'll get to that. There's some good talk there about that, but I randomly applied, and I found out when I was living in Newport, like I said, and I was I rode like bicycle taxis around, and I was in a league for volleyball, and I'm in this volleyball league. It's like 9 a.m. and I applied. I didn't think I'd get in because I thought my high school grades were so bad, but all of a sudden I got a call, and it was for my mom. She opened up my mail, which is illegal, and she also won't share our podcast. So
put that on Facebook.
Yeah, put that on Facebook. She let me know that I got in, and I was taken back. Should I go? Most of my friends are done with college. They're moving on. They're going into a different place in their lives. They're moving to different places. So I decided to do it mostly because I wanted to play soccer. So I contacted the soccer coach. He seemed like he would at least give me a chance to make the team. So I thought, hey, this is my opportunity. I can go to college. I can play college soccer. I should do it. It really wasn't. But you know what? I'm not gonna say it wasn't. I did have that feeling that you had, where I felt a little lost. What should I do next? I was the bicycle taxi. So I was riding around for tips at this point, and people would ask me, they're like, so what are you going to do next? And I'd be like, oh,
well, there's such a big future
yeah.
in that. Like, there's a big future in pedicab. I mean, that was
yeah.
no, I'm kidding. Yeah,
I know. I would say that there was a path in pedicab. There was being a manager and working your way up. There was somebody that ended up being a manager, and I think he gained a lot of experience managing it. It's a pretty,
that's the best trap. Dude.
It's
that's
corporate.
The best trap.
It's corporate.
I know exactly what you're talking about there, where it's like, well, I could go to college right now, or I can go this management route in this, like, you know, for me it was like the jewelry game or even the restaurant business, where it's like, yeah, I could go that route and I might make more money up front, but I still feel like that, like, 4-year degree, even like maybe when we were there, was so much more enticing than the fucking manager route of like that menial labor job that you or I were gonna have.
Yeah.
They're not like trades.
Oh, yeah.
They're not trades, you know, like retail fucking sales, dude, is the most aggressive shit in the world. It's awful. So that was
I was also doing construction too, Don. So I was like, I thought I was Bob the Builder. I had like a tool belt. I was buying a drill. I was enjoying it in some manner because I saw a path forward there. I could do this the rest of my life. Yep. Oh yeah.
That's
Yep.
different
No,
though. Like trades, you know what I mean, man? Like if you were in the trades, I would be like, yeah, don't do it. But where this person's clearly not in the trades, like, nah, man, you're gonna be fucking retail for the rest of your life. No, go to college. Like, do it. Put in the work. Community college is right. You're right with that. Like, that's where I started too. And community college is the absolute best thing that this country has to offer.
It's not. I had a great college experience too. At the age I started at 21, I believe 21, and I had a great college experience. Obviously, it was not the same as someone that was 17 years, 18 years old, and I had to avoid a lot of situations because I just didn't feel like it was appropriate. It just seemed like I was hanging out with kids sometimes, and even though I was a kid and looking back on it, but I was able to go to the bar, so I made new friends and a lot of them were my age. If you go to if you go to community college, most of them are going to be your age or older.
Yes.
And then if you go to a state school like we did, there was quite a few people that were my age, and I was able to find my own group. And honestly, hanging out with the younger kids, I tried to avoid it. And next thing you know, there was a 19-year-old, 18-year-old kid on my soccer team, and he's now my best friend. It really doesn't really matter about the age situation. I think that you go back to college. If that's what's right for you, unless you can find a different path that's fulfilling.
Yeah, that's a great point there. Is like, you will find people. I'm not trying to belittle this kid's age, but I had a different experience than you did. I was so much more, like, entrenched in adult life at that point. Like, I had a wife, I had a kid. By the time I got to Salem State, I had been married at that point for 4 years. I had one kid and one on the way. So my professors were actually like, I think they were probably a little bit more lenient on me. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus there, but they probably were a little bit more lenient on me because they were like, dude, this guy's got kids. I brought my kids to school sometimes, like I brought my daughter, my oldest now, who just turned 10. I used to bring her to class. Would have been great if I didn't have a wife, dude. You know how many girls I would have picked up walking my daughter around school? Oh, it would have been the move.
Yeah, totally. We did go to college at the exact same time.
We
Me and Don
graduated
walked
the same day, right?
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
didn't know each other. Had no idea we didn't know.
Which
Both
is
went to
such
the
a
same high school,
missed
too.
opportunity. Yeah, we went to the same high school, but we were different ages. You know, you were 4 years younger than me, right?
Yeah, right around there.
So I graduated
We
in
won't
03.
go into your age.
Oh, yeah. Well, everybody can do the math.
I
graduated in 03.
I was 06.
Okay, so yeah, we were in the same school at the same time. We missed two opportunities there to hang out. But you know what? Work brought it all together. Full circle.
Mm-hmm. Full circle.
Yeah,
Anyways, let's
great.
Salem State was awesome. But
Awesome.
let's really get back to her question. I guess is there anything that we missed from this, Don? Like I mean I feel like we both have such good experiences to be able to speak to this. So
the one thing that really stands out to me, man, that I think this person is discounting themselves a little bit on is that they're like, I'm going to be stuck living with my parents. And it's like, actually, you're not. You don't have to do that. You can go out and, like, I don't know where you live, but I'm sure there are shitty apartments that you can get with people that go to school there. And I know if it's a little bit different for a young lady than it would be for me. Like, I'm a 300-pound man. I don't really care. Like, I'm not that nervous about living with someone. But even so, when I was in college, I was paying for my own apartment, and my wife didn't work at that time. So, I mean, you can do it. It just takes serious dedication. And when you're going to school and when you're paying for it on your own, that's like I think you said that already. That's what's going to make you a better student. I graduated from high school, bottom of my class. I think I was bottom 3 of my class. And I graduated like magna cum laude from college.
You were bottom 3 at Ipswich High School?
I'm pretty sure I was like bottom 3. Yeah.
I was also. Donald, what a path we went. I was like 150 out of 153.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was like right in that same range as you. I think my GPA was like a .86. They weren't supposed to pass me at that point. Like, they just got rid of me. And I wasn't like a bad kid, dude. I just was like a burnout hippie kid. But it just wasn't, school wasn't for me at that point because I didn't have any skin in the game. And the minute you get money involved, like, I'm in, dude. I'm like, sales till I die. Like, yeah, there's money on the line? Yeah, fuck it, I'm in. I'll do it.
I remember looking around at graduation and just being like, who are these other 3 kids? Like, how did they beat me? I was baffled. And I believe it turned out that they actually were students that were graduating from previous years and they lumped them in.
Yeah.
So I think there's that. But back to the housing situation. Living at your parents' house is not going to suck. It's probably what I would recommend you do the first, at least the first semester. It will keep you focused on school. You'll go home. You'll be at your parents' house. You won't have much to do. Really feel it out. Get good grades that first semester, and then start looking for a roommate. You can find a roommate on Craigslist. I'm sure that's where I found mine on. Something ridiculous, but you can find somebody on Craigslist for sure. That's a great path for you to live with somebody. Don was saying that it will be an absolute grind to be able to say pay your rent, but if you get enough people and it's not that bad. It's going to be $500 a month, potentially $600 a month. It could be 800, could be 900, but you could probably in the college town, you're going to be able to find a 4-bedroom house with 3 other girls on Craigslist. They're all going to be in the same situation, and you'll be able to make that work with just an average job while going to college.
Oh, dude, you'll make that in 2 nights a week waiting tables. Like, no question in my mind. You can earn enough to survive. Working 2 to 3 days a week if you're willing to be like a waitress, a bartender, a bar back,
Oh yeah, yep.
OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, like those typical college jobs where it's like,
Yep.
a waitress or a bartender, you're gonna make that 2 nights a week, and it won't even be that bad, and you'll be out and about.
Make sure that I would just a little bit more advice, I guess, would be that second semester when you do move in with those new Craigslist friends of yours, would be to be careful about your grades. That there was definitely a dip in grades going from living at home to living at an apartment pretty close to campus. Last piece of advice would be to go to the library.
Great point.
Go to the library.
Library is the absolute best place to spend your free time at not all your free time, but the free time during the day when you're at school. Like, the library is the absolute best place because you're going to get your shit done, do your work before you go out. And now we're like, this person hasn't even signed up for college. Nobody knows if they're going to fucking go. But if you do go, the library is key.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm so
especially if you're
excited
living
for
at
that.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can sleep in the library. You can do your homework in the library. You can charge all of your devices in the library. You can usually eat in the library. You can also get books at the library. That's number 5, books. That's what they have.
Best coffee at Salem State was in the library. No question.
Yeah.
That coffee was legit.
And be good to the lunch aides.
That's just good advice across the board, dude. I don't understand these people who treat the people that make their food like shit. Like, that's a whole nother topic for another day. But don't treat people who make your food like shit. That's a terrible idea.
Off topic. Sorry about that.
Sorry, you got me excited about that one. But yeah, no, I think if this person, community college is absolutely the route to go. Just start, get your feet wet, because, I mean, it's less expectation. There's more people like you there. There's more working people in community college. The courses are typically fully transferable in the state. Like, I graduated from community college and was a full transfer student. I actually didn't have to do a bunch of shit at Salem State that a lot of my classmates did have to do because I had already done it at through requirements at the community college that were totally different. It's a much better approach than just diving into a fancy state school or a expensive private college. Like, fuck that.
Yeah. No, not worth it at this point.
No,
just a name on a piece of paper.
Exactly. At this point, you're 21. Like, I don't recommend that you go to Dartmouth. Sorry, that's out. But you know what? Salem State. That's a great school.
Who happens to be a sponsor.
Who happens to be a future sponsor. No, that's a joke.
Oh, sorry.
We have nothing. We have no
affiliation
with Salem State, aside being the 2 most successful alumni ever. But
best looking.
Easily the best looking alumni from Salem State. Mm-hmm. Challenge anybody to scan my shirt and prove me wrong. But yeah, I mean, I would say that this is a solid question, and there's really no choice other than to go do something better. Or if you don't go to college, here's what's going to happen. I've worked with every single version of you that doesn't go to college. I know that person. I've worked with the angry middle-aged woman who manages a jewelry store because she didn't go to fucking college. I've worked with the junkie who manages a restaurant because he didn't go to fucking college. I've worked with the heroin addict who shoots up in the back room at the jewelry store because he didn't go to college. I've worked with the ancient Egyptian man who had a heart attack in the jewelry store, and I saved his life because he didn't go to college. So all of those are options too, but they're just going to be a fucking grind. Getting this degree is going to put you in a different position where you're going to be able to leverage yourself in a better way.
Don, were all those people your relatives or just random people you met at work?
All of those people are deeply related to me. No.
Okay.
They're all direct cousins. Yeah. No, these are all people. Those are all true stories of the people that I worked with, and Yeah, that fucking grind though of like the restaurant industry, the retail industry. I never did clothing or
I did. It
furniture.
sucked.
Yeah, I can only imagine like working in the clothing industry was even worse. Like at least jewelry, we had some like phony fucking prestige, you know, like we were in suits and we were fucking selling something that people thought was fancy. Whereas selling clothing, you know, if it's not high end, I feel people treat you like shit.
Yeah, yeah. I was selling shoes at Olympia Sports. It was terrible. It was terrible.
I can only imagine, dude, like the moms coming in that are just like berating you for shoes because you know
Oh,
junior needs like the new Jordans, and you're like running back and forth from the stock room to get. No, it's a 9.5. Actually, it's like, oh, lady, fuck.
the best was after they would absolutely make me feel like a piece of crap. And they would send me back and forth. I would then try to upsell them on soles.
Yes.
The cheapest part of your sneaker is your sole, and then we were trained to take the sole out and show them how thin it was, and then to go over to our G-Shocks or whatever they are. I don't know what they were called, but go over and be like, look how thick this one is. Honestly, this is one of the best sneakers we have, but the sole is only like 3 cents. It's meant to be upgraded, and we have the upgrades.
What was your conversion rate? What would you say? Like, how often did you get
Oh.
that sale?
Oh, all the time. If once you pulled it out, you were good. 100%, you were good. They were like, "Oh wow, look at that. That's only 15 cents." Yeah, I'd say it's like 50%. I'd say 50%.
How much
you
is
could
the
get
new sole? How much are they going up in price? So you're buying a $80 pair of shoes with a 15-cent sole. How much are you getting them for a new sole for?
It was like $15, I think.
I love it. I love that.
Maybe
That's the
18.
best.
I would have to go back and yeah.
That's absolutely what a great scam.
It was the only part of the job that I liked. You know what? Scam. At the same time, it is the cheapest part of the shoe.
Hey, you sold me, man. I'm gonna go get some new soles tomorrow. Like that sounds.
Yeah.
That sounds right to me.
All checks out.
My absolute least favorite thing that I had to do in selling jewelry was we had to sell credit cards instead of jewelry. We were actually a finance company that sold jewelry. So my main goal was to get you to sign up for a credit card. So in hindsight, dude, it's like I've actually, probably put the majority of my customers in unreasonable debt. And now then I'm gone, like fuck it, it's not my thing anymore. But I probably
You didn't help them pay?
No, yeah, we didn't help them pay. No. Yeah, we just signed them up with this. And 9 times out of 10, people are like, nah, man, I don't need another credit card. And we're trained. Like they have people who watch you during the day. And if you don't ask people to sign up for the credit card 3 additional times, you're actually getting like docked. You're getting knocked for it. And it's like, it's just so soul crushing. Just absolutely devastating to try to like, oh, tell me what your social security number is. Oh, yeah? No, you don't want a credit card? Oh, okay, cool. So how about that credit card? Awful, man.
All right. Well, this question was about school, and I think we gave some pretty good advice.
Yeah, definitely go to school. Because I
Yeah.
promise you, the options outside of doing that are a hellish landscape of fucking soul-crushing work. Unless you're really cool with, like, trying to sign people up for credit cards or sell them soles for their shoes. Like, if you're good with that and that's the pinnacle of your life, keep running. But if not, I think college is a better option.
Yeah.
And with that, I mean, I think we've probably given out some of the better advice that these people have received in their lives tonight, I would say. This was really some of the hottest takes on the block tonight for these folks. So, Chris, we worked through some technical difficulties tonight with Greenhead, and you'll get scolded for it. Don't worry. I'm going to deal with that. But thanks for tuning in, and I hope people like and subscribe. And if you're checking us out on local television, thank you. We appreciate that. Come scan my shirt and come find us at myfriendshow.com.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. I want to throw that out there one more time. Thank you, everybody, for all of the support you've given us. The follows on Instagram. I know I appreciate that. Twitter, that makes Don's day.
Yeah, we actually need more of that. So if anyone's listening and not on Twitter, that would be great. Yeah. It's at myfriends_show. I don't have anybody following us there, or at least not that much. So come check us out there too.
It's a cold world over there in Twitter, but we got some followers on Instagram, and I think with the followers that we have, if they start sharing some of our content, that's a big ask.
Big ask.
If you can post, I know some of my friends will because they're just such nice people. But it would be really incredible because it means the world to us. We love doing this. I'm really sure we're going to get good at this. I really do. Don's phenomenal, and I think that I'll start pulling my weight soon, and we're going to have an amazing show. And you guys are really with us from the ground up. You are. This is like a grassroots thing, Don, for you. What do you think?
Grassroots guerrilla warfare, baby.
Yeah,
that's what I'm about. Love it. Love you all. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
This land was made for you and me. They told Elijah McClain as he lay in the street, fear in his veins, blood on his teeth, nowhere to go but down. That's right, Elijah. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Set in a Texas draw from a leather seat. Protesters swarming outside in their funny pink hats, bawling their eyes out, yeah. Don't worry, ladies, this land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me, as a citadel, a sanctuary from all the evils of the world. And we can run it down just like that. God's hand on our back, and you tell me, baby, who this land was made